Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, in the middle of the night, the Azimio leaders led by Junet, Mohamed, Edwin, Sifuna, and the other leaders were in Stureh constituency. And the emerging news is that these leaders caught up 3 suspects with the IEBC ballot papers. Some of these ballot papers, in fact, in their offices, and not at a polling station, but in their offices. And some of these ballot papers had already marked some papers. In fact, almost all of these papers had the IEBC stamp. And the question they are asking, why individuals having IEBC materials in their private homes and not at the IEBC polling center? There is a video that was shared by David Osiani, and I wanted to watch it shortly. Then after this, we want to go deeper to understand really what is cooking at the Bomas of Kenya and what game plan does the UDA side have in this election.
Fungua hiyo page tena governor. Rudi kwa ile page ya kina women.
Sawa, tuendelee tafadhali, tuendelee.
Go ahead. Patia.
Go ahead.
Niendelee. Wacha tushika hivi mashine.
So we are done with this one.
Yeah, come to point.
We go to the next.
Hebu onyesha hiyo hesabu governor.
Ni kweli atasema tumbili
town. Yeah.
You know, two incidents. Two incidents at two separate constituencies where they show up with ballot boxes and then claim to have lost the results. Then they ask you to agree to open it so that it is counted. Yeah. Because they have in 3 constituencies in Kibra. They did that at Old Kibra Primary School.
When? Today?
Embakasi Central today. And then even Kampuchi and here told us there was 1 box that they wanted. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. So we should tell our people not to allow any ballot boxes that don't have results.
And they want them to travel out of the state telling center.
Okay, so we can do this one and then... The first one is there on the seat. It's there on the seat. Alright.
ulikuwa umeangalia?
Hii tunataka kujua content.
You know here. We are outside. We are not
Pre-marked. Governor, show me the balance of those books. The calculations.
the calculations I'll send you. The way they've calculated, like Senator Margaret Wanjiru should get 223. Yeah. Sifuna gets 145.
These are
Unapewa matiki.
So that is Italian na president.
Exactly.
oh, so they can tell, yeah?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's for Senate. Senate. For St. Peter's level.
So unaweza jaza hiyo yote.
Hiyo yote. Baby wako na whole reel.
Umeshinda. Kijaziwa hii umeshinda.
Hiyo kijaziwa?
Umeshinda.
Like stamp. Look at the back. It's stamped.
Already.
And you know the stamping was only to happen at issuance.
Already done.
This one is already stamped.
Oh, stamps unanunua hapa town.
Naona imemarkiwa Wanjiru.
Unaona wamewanga.
Wewe piga hii picha. Wanjiru. Unaona imemarkiwa Wanjiru.
Imemarkiwa?
Yes.
UDA. And already stamped.
Already stamped.
And marked for who? Just for the page.
Yeah, see, it's stamped and marked Wanjiru.
Show me the other page.
The other pages, they are not.
They were now going to mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were supposed to go and mark all of them and put in a ballot box. And take two.
That's a whole reel.
These evidence we have for. We already have a suspect.
Okay.
So this evidence we have.
Wacha hii akae naye.
They have taken photos. They have taken photos of this.
Serial numbers.
Wameshachukua photo numbers.
Sawa.
Patia hii moja akae naye.
Itakuwa worse.
Wameshapiga
Akiwa nayo ndio even worse. Yes, this one is marked. Wanjiru.
So sisi tutafanya nini kama mwananchi wa kawaida? And you want to nini?
They can have that. Not they can, they have it. But we also need to find out. Are these IEBC real materials or Niyao can?
No, hii ni IEBC.
Hii ni IEBC.
Ni IEBC.
We call for an IEBC guy to come.
What we'll do, we'll verify.
No,
Yes.
they'll do that.
Yeah.
Because they can also have their own materials like
Possible.
because in Bomas of Kenya, they have said, what has come there, they are trying to check, they find that it doesn't have.
Worried about the police officers who seem to be compromised. So everything that is happening now, it is not that we do not follow procedure. We followed all procedure that IEBC has laid out. But unfortunately, even with giving them that indication that something is going on, it has taken our own supporters to find these materials and to actually force these suspects to be brought here.
These papers that have been brought here are not papers only for senator or governor. It's papers for presidential election, senate election, senatorial, gubernatorial, MCA, and women rep, and member of parliament for Stureh. Now, this dents the credibility of this election. Because if ballot papers can be carried in a bag, in a rucksack, and somebody walks around with them here in town for 2 good days, it is shocking. What kind of election is this that somebody is trying to do? How did this person access these ballot papers? You remember the way ballot papers arrived in this country? Zilikuja kwa njia ya utatanishi at the airport. Some commissioners even say they're not aware of the arrival of the ballot papers. Now somebody is walking with them in town here in Nairobi. This must be happening in all parts of the country. Because if somebody could access ballot papers, documents like ballot papers in Nairobi, well, what stops him from accessing in a rural place where there is no police, even proper security?
Now we are continuing with the panel discussion, but just a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you're not yet subscribed, so my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once I release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, before Junet, Mohamed and the team smoking out the 3 suspects, there are 2 tweets that Mutahi Ngugi had shared warning the Azimio side, and I just want us to go through these 3 tweets as we continue with this discussion. This is what Mutahi Ngugi said. Something don't add up. If voters turnout in Mount Kenya was very low, what explains the 49% Raila, 49% Ruto in media? This beats science logic. If Azimio slept through the Bomas, tables will turn. Remember, Mkokoteni has only 1 wheel. Don't be lazy at Bomas. Hashtag Kenya election 2022. So this one was a clear message. He was communicating to the Azimio people at the Bomas of Kenya. This is the second tweet he did. Dear Azimio in Bomas, focus on presidential results coming from Mount Kenya. B. Tara Going, Kiharu, Kandara, Mwea, Embu, and Co. That was Mtainguni sending a clear warning to the Azimio people at Bomas of Kenya. We know every coalition have their agent at the Bomas of Kenya. And even in those polling stations where the results were being announced, we had party agents. And these are the people Tainguni is actually talking to. So you can see the conditions he's talking about. And now you have heard in the video Junet, Mohamed and the team talking about the MCA ballot papers, the Member of Parliament ballot of papers, Women Rep ballot of papers, and the Senate, Governor, and even presidential. So it is wholesome from MCA to presidential. These people had these papers because Azimio wanashuku haya makaratasi. That point into one direction. The people who could be behind this business is the opponent. And who is the Azimio opponent? Definitely, it is Kenya Kwanza. Because when you talk about you see the name they are mentioning there, Wanjiru is running for Nairobi Senate, Margaret Wanjiru. And those are the ballot papers they were marking. Because they were, by the way, there was no way Margaret Wanjiru was going to defeat Edwin Sifuna. As far as Railaodinga was endorsing Edwin Sifuna and President Uhuru Kenyatta was also endorsing the same card. So they knew it is not going to be very easy for someone like Wanjiru winning that vote. So the only way to do this is to have this marked ballot, and then when the counting is going on, then you talk about the results that have been delayed to come. You bring in such papers and the mathematics will add up. Because remember, we have people who did not turn out to vote. Turnout was very low. So to replace this, you bring in these papers. And that will explain on how the governor vote will go on, the presidential vote that is going to go on. So in as much as Azimio has been celebrating, they have talked about having their numbers being tallied and they are aware of the figures. The truth of the matter is that the game is not over. A luta continua. If they sleep on job the way Mtainguni is talking about, then they are going to suffer another massive blow. They need to be very vigilant and they question everything that is coming about, whether on screen or on papers that are coming in. They have to be very careful to check as the result comes in. Because it's like the Kenya Kwanza side are well prepared. They came in prepared and they are going to use every means possible, whether doing what, as long as it is going to help them achieve their goal. And their goal in this election is to win by any means. That is their focus. And they have not yet given up. They are ready to use every means possible. And that's why you can see, this is just one situation. Talk about when people were voting down there. Kule kwenye Ndindi Nyoro wanatoka, kwa kina Alice Wahoma wanatoka, kwa kina Kimani Ichung'wah wanatoka. What kind of game has played down there in the village? If this is what is happening in town, what about in the village? Tell me. If you are seeing results coming in more than the people, the turnout numbers, then you have to question these issues. And by the in Stureh constituency, I think Jubilee Party have a candidate there. Someone goes by the name Amos Mwagu. That is Jubilee candidate. Huku ni kwenye Jagwa alikuwa, but Jagwa alianguka na kuna sasa yule jamaa na kuanga wa Iana akapata hiyo ticket. So he was running on UDA ticket. So that the man also, they want to clinch into this position. So the game is not over. It is still going on. And the UDA is not ready to accept anything like defeat. They don't understand the language of defeat. The language they understand is to use every means possible to cling to power. So, I think it is not the right time for Azimio to celebrate. If they have been doing so, they should be vigilant on the ground. Because now, even if they're going to win this election, then you are finding people carrying papers like the way they are getting them, with the ballot papers on the streets. This also prepares the ground to nullify this election. So assume Railaodinga has won the election, but they end up nullifying because of the kind of process. Remember Maraga alisema ya kwamba election is not event, it is a process. So if this is the kind of process we are seeing, tell me, doesn't it lay ground for nullifying this election? So these guys will be using every means possible to lay ground even to nullify the election. And these are things people should be serious about. I don't know what to think about this, but that's my view. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening to me up to this far. May good God bless you. See you in the next video. But again, you can reach out to me on my WhatsApp number if you have any information you want to share out with me. 0795 95 80 63. 0795 95 80 63. That's my number.